That was a bit preemptive of the clap. That's not the clap. We're not there yet. We're not at clap time yet. There we go. I don't think I can ever play the saxophone in my life. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Hello. Wow, terrible clap. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It is the Biendeo stream today on this fine 7th of April 2025. Oh, new month. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and we'll have a wonderful week ahead of you. My week has been nice and sort of chill. Sup, Fetty? Sup? It's been sort of chill. Sort of. It depends on what you classify as chill. But yeah, no, we got a game to get into, so how about let's get into it right about now. Here we go. Wah. There we go. Oh, there we go. There's the audio. But yeah, so in the last stream, PlayStation 2, it's Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, the famous sequel to Spyro Year of the Dragon, the very, very infamous sequel that, I don't know, people sort of hyperbolize when they say it killed the franchise, because I don't know, man, like, you can have anything kill anything. No, we're not doing the remaster, we're doing the original, we're doing that, so I don't know too much about the remaster other than adding in the small bits here and there, and definitely, you know, crossing the I's, dotting the T's. No, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, that's it. But it is nice to clean up that kind of stuff. But I want to show this game in its absolute raw form factor, as gutsy as it is, because there's a lot that this game has, you know, in store. Ah, it's all good. It's all good. Also, I mean, we had a lot of good ones last week. We had the world casually not loading in the portal. We had like clipping things falling through the floor. Voice lines not playing. Voice lines playing when they shouldn't. Like gems just casually not being picked up. Gems falling through the floor. Eventually they get picked up. Eventually. But yeah. But in the last stream, we're at... Oh, I can't hit select yet. I can't hit select. The game's got to tell me I've beaten everything before I can hit select. There we go. I love how Spyro's shadow disappears the moment you do this. Like, you see he's got a shadow, and then, nope, don't need it. So, but yeah. I mean, that's 4 of the levels. So, we're going to go back for Crop Circle Country, and then probably get Monkey Monastery and Honey Marsh done this stream. And then we'll have a nice chill stream next week. But yeah, I hope you're all doing all right, especially in the post daylight savings era for Sydney. We are back to the clock switched back an hour. The sun is up early in the morning technically, and it is very dark at night already. So that's fun. But I got a nice little bit of a fuller night's sleep, and I think I've been needing that fuller night's sleep because we're going to have a nice little Easter break ahead. But I'll finish this game first before Easter kicks in, so that's all good. Now I'm only 8 hours ahead. Exactly. Kind of weirdly, this is how you enter the level. There was a person here. They are not here anymore. We're going to space. We are going to space. He doesn't need a helmet or anything, so. Anyways, I think we'll probably just start the conversation about the Switch 2, because, I mean, it's so much of like, stuff. I actually follow this kind of stuff, and I think this is kind of exciting.
Howdy, Spyro. Space ripcogs have arrived from nowhere and have overrun the farm looking for dragonflies. Since they haven't been able to find any, they've been abducting cows and locking them inside the big barn. And I'm afraid I'm next.
Don't worry, I'll help you.
You will? Golly, thanks. You just need to go round back and unlock the big red barn and rescue them cows.
I think, this guy is modeled after me, because I kind of look like this guy. Yeah. But anyways, yes, a lot of community madness. I think the easiest thing is, first of all, start off, lay down the facts of what was shown off, and what I'm sort of speculating a little bit, and then start diving into some of the community stuff. Because there's a lot going on. This level is not really too fancy. We've sort of brought back the space, I mean, the Riptocs now instead of cows, but yeah, it's a lot. It's an hour 2 presentation, and there's a lot to unpack, and there's also a lot from the Treehouse Showcase. It's not like densely as much at with the Treehouse Showcases, but certainly, you know, there's some facts and things that definitely they clarified there, where it's like, ooh, you know, you probably want to mentally note that one. So I've written down everything I think needs to be addressed. So I've broken it down into 3 sections, which is the hardware, the audio delays. The audio is that's not me, right? As in the Switch audio delays. Do I have audio delays? You're gonna have to let me know on that one. But oh, maybe I didn't watch it live because it was at like midnight our time. So I just watched it whenever afterwards. And it seems that the re-upload was fixed. But if they live streamed it, then yeah, that would have been kind of brutal actually. Because I know that it's not a live stream on their channel. It is indeed an upload. So, also, I have all the breaths, by the way, so anything that comes up isn't a problem. But also, you'll notice that there's never any backtracking beyond that one kite thing in the very first level.
Hey, it's Akira.
Kaneda! At some point, there'd be an audio delay. Ah, rip. That would have killed some hype. But yeah, so I've broken down my notes into the hardware, the general software, and then finally the games themselves, just to talk about those. Oof. Freeze is never good fun as well. It's weird as well, because all you gotta do is just, like, play a broadcast. Literally do the YouTube premiere. They've already built this for you. You don't have to do it live. But yeah, let's talk about the Switch 2. So, first of all, I'm leaving price to the end, just for the note, but what is in the box? What makes the Switch 2 the Switch 2? They didn't say anything about the actual chip on board. We know it's NVIDIA, because NVIDIA are talking about it, but they never confirmed that it's an Ampere chip, and they never confirmed how much RAM is on it, so we're going to have to do some guesswork. No one knows if it's 8 or 12 gigs of RAM. Greetings, Blub! No one knows if it's 8 or 12 gigs of RAM, but certainly it's good enough for the games that are on it, so that's a good sign. Also, hello there. How are you doing?
Hey,
He's half
you're
clipping the
Spyro,
floor.
ain't you? Glad to meet you. Have you seen any of my cows?
Have you seen any of my cows? I watched that Oddities video. It was like there's 3 scarecrows here in the pre-release, but there's only 1 in the final release. They love this effect from the first level so much they used it again. But yeah, so what makes the Switch 2 the Switch 2? The big thing, I think, is that it supports 4K 60 docked output, or 1080p 120. Actually, it does support 1440p 120. That's a curious note, I did see, but most likely you're not going to get any games running at 1440p 120. If you do, that'd be incredible, but most likely you'll get the 1080 120, or you see what I mean? You need the lightning breath for this one, so it's good to have done this now. Also, then this happens. Isn't that a bit weird? Because, like, I'm pretty sure you don't have the lightning breath until... Oh, you have it. You get it in the first level, so never mind. Wow, he's not even on screen.
Hey, it's me.
They did say 120. Yeah, I'm glad about 120. I'm also very glad. I'll mention 120 is also on the handheld screen. It's only 1080p, but then also 1080p is better than the Steam Deck, and also the Steam Deck OLED is only 90 Hz as well. So that's nice. That's very nice. I think a lot of people will really like playing some of the titles at 120 if it supports it. That's the big asterisk, so keep a mental note for that. they mentioned, particularly Metroid Prime 4 has the ability to play in either of those modes, so 4K 60 or 1080p 120. Also, that's output resolution into... Oh my gosh. I'm looking at my notes slightly, but that one was a bit of a struggle on my end. What a weird ledge here. I'm actually not too sure if they wanted me to jump up like that. How many gems are we already at? 391. That's half of the gems. I've gone straight forward. I think they mention it in the I'm not too sure if they mentioned that one. Oh, as in you're replying to the stream dying, maybe actually. Kirby, they definitely said is 1440p 60. Breath of the Wild is also only 1440p 60. I'm not sure if it's upscaled and therefore it hits 4K, or whether it's upscaled and it is 1440p. I'm not too sure if we've gotten that clarification, so I think it'd be good to just double check. Probably we'll know at launch, but certainly you can feel it was at 60 FPS. I don't think Breath of the Wild is at 120, but Metroid, they did say that, so I'm happy. I'm happy there. Anyways, HDR is also a feature while docked, therefore, you know, it goes to your display, and I assume the better of a display you have, the nicer your HDR experience will be. Apparently HDR is supported. Oh, we forgot to draw the laser, we just drew the impact on the floor. Yeah, it won't be live, yeah. The screen itself apparently supports HDR, although supporting HDR and being a good experience for HDR... That's a weird jump, by the way. Yeah, HDR does require brightness, and so if the screen doesn't light up as well, then it's sort of kind of moot. And for handhelds especially, it's quite tricky to really get enough like brightness to even make sense, especially for the Switch, and especially for not an OLED. I think we'll definitely see HDR on handheld being a bit more of a who cares feature, but 120 Hz will be nice. So I think the 1080p will also be fine on handheld. Anyway, so the screen, it's yeah, 1080p, 120 Hz, 7.9 inch LCD, which is not as big as the, I think it was 6.2 I've written down for the original Switch. I don't know what the OLED is off the top of my head. I think the OLED was a bigger screen though, but effectively it would fit in the same form factor. So, but yeah. Also, it's variable refresh rate, which is at least nice. You won't get some screen tearing if anything happens, but that's cool. Don't know about the speakers. They did say it's better, but you know, you sort of need to be there to believe it, so I think we'll just sort of grain of salt. They claim it's better. It's got 3D audio. It's got Wi-Fi 6, which would be nice for the download speeds. A lot of people probably have Wi-Fi 6 setups in their home now, and if you don't, then soon. But at least you got your Switch too. Yeah, I think they said it's got G-Sync, but that's probably just because it's NVIDIA on that one. Where it's basically just their variable refresh rate technology. Remember as well that syncing technologies are different across DisplayPort and HDMI. So since this is HDMI, you'll be relying on that solution. But you know, your mileage may vary on what you actually get at the end of the day. This is such a, like, you know, like, I get it level, by the way. I just want to add, I've just been going around in a circle, and it's like, yeah, I get it. There's bonds, there's stuff happening. We're nearly at the end of all the gems, and there's not really a lot going on. Other than they did bring the cows back. So, the crop circle, exactly. And the frame rate really, really doesn't like it. So, it's got 256 gigs of storage on it, which is higher than the Switch One's 32. I also hope it's a lot quicker. It might have been because I was moving slow that it just panicked. All these scarecrows are very close to me, and that makes this timer seem very optimistically high. Like, seriously, I wasn't even trying on that one, and that's good enough. No, I think I flamed an enemy, and it just sort of, like, failed to come out of him in a convincing way. Oh, I just realized these little sparks. Freaking dragonfly particles. What's going on there? First time I've ever noticed those. Okay. But yeah, 256 gigs of storage is nice because the Switch 1, woefully, is not big enough for some games. Tetsuo Kaneda! I think that's the gist of this level, which is a bit weird. Why'd they choose the Akira names on the crop circle level? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, 256 gigs of storage is nice. The other one as well is that obviously you can expand your storage with micro SD, but now it's getting picky. You're gonna need a micro SD Express card. This was one that let down some people. I get it, but it's also, man, this came like really quick. Micro SD Express was a spec finalized in 2019. I don't think I ever saw any like card actually start using it. I actually don't know if micro SD Express cards are also compatible with regular micro SD slots. Hopefully they are, but part of their technology and the big, the Express part of the name is hinting that they support PCI Express. So similar to how we have NVMe, E stands for Express again. Yeah, micro SD Express allows, I guess, connections that you leverage at least one PCIe lane. I'm not sure if we'll ever see more through the spec, but at least one, such that you get a PCIe lane worth of bandwidth. So the new micro SDs that you'll see have 880 megabytes a second concurrent reads, or sorry, not concurrent, simultaneous, sequential reads, and 480 megabytes write, which is certainly you can get a lot quicker with a 4-lane PCIe SSD and double if it was PCIe Gen 4. Which on the PS5 you apparently require, but lower requirements of the handheld, and I hope that the costs are not too high on these. Hopefully. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, the polygons are having a moment again. I'm missing 2 gems somewhere. Somewhere.
Hey, Spyro, glad you're here. The doors are jammed. I've set some explosives, but don't have any matches. My mama always told me that I should never play with matches. Anyway, maybe you could help me with the light?
I like how that's the end of the level right there as well. It's a bit lame, isn't it? And then it's noisy. Is he gonna react to this? Maybe.
Hey there, Dragon. Thanks for helping out this here farm.
Anytime, Farmer Bill.
Here, take this thingamajig. I was gonna use it in my new smoker BBQ for flavor.
Well, it was good I talked to him again, because,
Hey, it's Fiona.
But yeah, they did confirm that older microSDs will be able to save photos and videos, just normally like the regular Switch does, but you won't be able to boot games off of fail to... Yeah, true, yeah. We figured it out now, though. I figured it out. It's not going to be as bad this time. But missing the gem is kind of annoying, especially when it's, like, pointing into the wall. Oh, we did it again! We did it again! This one's kind of annoying, because now it's like, I've really got no clue what I'm looking at here. We're missing, like, half the level. Oh, there it is. Second time. Second time. So good. So good. But yeah, I'm not sure if you can put games on an older SSD and then transfer them to the internal storage in case you already have an SD card, but probably you'll buy the micro SD. Probably. So I believe one of the minigames is in this direction. There we go. How many dragonflies are we at? 6? 4. Wow, I'm missing quite a bunch. We'll find them. They'll be somewhere, right? Yeah. Anyway, what else have we got? There's 2 USB-C ports on the Switch. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. The bottom is the one you're usually used to, but the one on the top is very nice because sometimes you've got it sitting and you want to charge it, and you can't do it when it's on the bottom, but now it's on the top. They also advertise a new camera. We'll get into that in a moment. That'll be from the top.
There's a space riptop holding that dragonfly hostage. If you activate all the platforms around the tower by jumping on them, it'll lower the tower down so you can rescue.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Connect as well. It's been happening for a long time.
Platforms?
Attempt the trial of the platforms. They make this seem like it's a big fancy minigame, but it really is just the platforming section. It's a bit arbitrary as well. It's just like, oh, like yeah, it's like, oh, we're going backwards all of a sudden. It's like, okay, sure. There we go. So we'll just continue with this. I don't know if the USB ports are high speed. Probably not. But you know, whatever. It's a Switch 2. I don't think I mind too much. The dock itself has 2 USB 2.0 ports, Type A, exposed on the outside, which I think is actually really nice, because isn't it kind of annoying that it's like chilling on the inside there? Like, what's happening there, guys? And also it has an active cooling fan. So when it's plugged in, it probably is going to draw more power than the Switch 1 did, which is probably going to explain how you get to 4K. So that makes sense. Also, there's an Ethernet port in the dock by default, so you don't have to buy an adapter for that one. Very nice. The overall thickness of the device is 13.9 millimeters, which is basically the same as the original Switch. I don't know what's happening here, by the way. This looks like a pillar. It's just sort of chilling here. Jump into it. What? Oh, why did I do that on the very last one? That just seems like a mega risky thing. I mean, I'm padding for content. Wow. Thank you, man. Thanks for insulting me. Here we go. I don't know why there's 2 moons, by the way. It's just there. Yeah. Anyways, what else? Yeah, the device itself, though, with the Joy-Cons is substantially wider and taller, though. I've written down it's 272 millimeters wide and 116 millimeters tall, compared to 239 and 102. That is true. Oh, thank you. You picked the stream title name as well. If we burn our wings, flying too close to the sun. There you go. I like that album more than the average person probably should. It's a vibe, though. Oh no, the cheap viewers. Oh no. I hate cheap viewers. All my viewers are very expensive. Okay, well, we're just gonna sit here, I guess. But yeah, certainly it's a bit wider and taller. Except Lemon, true. He is a cheap Lemon. But yeah, it's definitely wider and taller, which there was one like VTuber I saw, was just like, people were like, also the aim of this was to kill an enemy in the center. That's probably, someone would probably be able to kill that enemy like just from a distance, and just see that that's the trigger and none of the rest of the level. And he was holding a dragonfly hostage until I jumped.
Hey, it's Rickshaw.
But yeah, it's not really a pocket system anymore. Nothing is a pocket system anymore, especially at that size. It's probably closer to a Steam Deck size though, but I don't have the numbers to compare. It is heavy as well, 534 grams as opposed to about 400. So I'm curious if it'll weigh right. The kickstand is not a single little plastic slab that you could probably snap. Guess get larger pockets. I have large pockets. The Switch fits very snug in my pockets, but that's a me thing. The kickstand is now a whole like kind of bar. It's attached at both the left and right, at like basically the far ends, and has a wide beam to sort of make it work. Also, check that out. You see that right there. It's just chilling up here.
Hey, it's Laurent.
But yeah, no, I like the kickstand. Let's see. I've written the battery size is 5220 milliamp hours as opposed to 4310 in the original. I don't know how much is. I think the OLED is the same, but the screen draws less, power, so therefore it's better. I'm not sure if this is better on the battery life. They're advertising it's about the same. We'll see, because when they say 2.5 to 6, that's a really big number. You meant to, like, hit these guys? I think you are actually meant to, yeah. Okay, I assume that's back at him. Well, they sort of just go back immediately. It's not like the cowlick mini game from Spyro 2, where you gotta really try your best to guide them together. Is it just 4? Oh no, there's a 5th one. But yeah, no, I'm curious about the battery life. We'll see. So there's that. The Joy-Cons themselves are definitely different. Obviously, you've seen from the pre-release kind of videos and stuff that they're black, but also they're a little bit bigger, a little bit different on size. There you go. You happy, man? You happy?
Thanks for freeing the cows. You think you can go get them and move them back here?
What? What do you mean they're not back here? What are we looking at right here? Cows that are not back? They're right here. They're all standing next to you.
Way to go,
Oh, now he's
Spyro.
happy.
We'll make a farmer out of you yet. By the way, while you were out looking for my cows, I found this here critter and I think it may belong to you.
He belongs to me, sure, okay.
Hey, it's Cedric.
It's Cedric. But yeah, the big difference with the Switch 2 Joy-Cons is that they don't slide on to the Switch from the top. They instead have a sort of magnetic kind of pull. Imagine like maglev. Maglev? MagSafe, like the Apple stuff. Don't call it MagSafe, Apple will get mad at you, but imagine it's like that. And to push them off, there's a little button that just physically pushes them off, which I like. Hopefully, it's actually a nice mechanism. I worry about the Switch 1's Joy-Cons, sort of, you snap them on and off enough times and they get a bit weaker. But I do like this concept. So that'll be kind of neat. Also, it's just easier to put them on. That might be nice. But definitely keep your eye on how well they do, because I'm curious there. I also worry about flexing them, but I sort of had the same idea about the first one. No IR camera. Yes, there's no infrared camera on the right Joy-Con anymore. That's the one functional difference about the new Joy-Con. If you like that controller, cool. The Switch 1 Pro controller is one of the worst controllers I have ever used. And it's not because it feels bad, it's because the D-pad is the most mushy D-pad in the world that I've ever used. It's atrocious for the kind of stuff I play, which is just not for me. So if they fix that, I'll be happy days. Also, it's kind of expensive. I'll just use the 8-bit though, because it's kind of... Oh my gosh, what is happening with polygons, I tell you. Yeah, and it's got drift as well. I really hope none of these things have drift. They never said the words Hall effect, so keep your eyes peeled. I'm missing 3 dragonflies, so there's one chilling somewhere. I assume there's 2 in this minigame, we'll see. Got it cheaper. Getting it cheaper is nice though, I will say that. Yeah, I played Mario Wonder entirely off the exact same controller I'm using now, which is just an 8-bit Do Pro 2. The feel in the hand is good though. I have big hands. I have very big hands though. So, but I don't hate the feel. But no, it's the D-pad. The problem with the D-pad is that you can hold the uppermost part of up, and then just wiggle your thumb, and you'll just hit left and right all the time. I'm 185, so I probably got average hands for my height, but
there's a big UFO about to come. There's a prototype tractor beam on this UFO that you can use to beam up the cows and put them into the corral. Hey, wait a minute. How does Farmer John have a UFO?
Thanks, Hunter.
Farmer Dill needs your help. Will you try rescuing the cows with the prototype UFO?
No, it depends. Yeah, it does depend on how much you use the D-pad, but I rely on it a bit too much. I had problems with Breath of the Wild when I tried playing it, because it's just like, I would just accidentally keep hitting the wrong D-pad button. Hey, the 2C is pretty good. I like the 2C. Do I have to... I think I have to... No? Yes? There you go. There you go. This reminds me of a, one of the minigames in Rayman Raving Rabbids, if you remember that one. Yeah, it depends. Like, for that one, especially, because it's camera controls, right? For the D-pad. It's like, well, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, for other ones, it's just like, yep, this was a button press. And that button press is now lost, so I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I don't have too much to say about the Switch 2 Pro controller, other than, yeah, it's got, a headphone input. Oh, second oh my gosh, dude, I'm so used to the 3DS one, I tell ya. What do you use the D-pad for? Just voice commands? It's such a weird effect when you're doing this. Yeah, let's not let him abduct this. There you go. This cow is very surprised to be held by his back. I feel bad for these cows, man. What do they do to deserve this? Think about it, the cow is one of the most, like, nurturing, like, you know, animals out there, in the sense of, like, literally you can use every part of the cow for something. Butter, leather, meat,
that was
milk.
Awesome, Spyro! You saved all
Technically,
the
the
cows.
milk makes
By
the butter.
the way, I found this dragonfly
Found a
hiding
dragonfly.
in the barn. Here you go.
Going through the eye. Oh, okay. That makes sense, because I remember on the older games, especially on the 3DS, it used to be like holding down a button and then hitting like X and Y or something like that.
Did you see that? Farmer Dill forgot to lock the gate and the cows got out. And it looks like there's more UFOs this time. Do you think you're up for another
You think you're up for another run?
Farmer Dill needs your help. Will you try rescuing
It's never
the cows
zero,
with the
no.
prototype UFO? Watch out for the gold UFOs. Those mean little guys will shoot your eye out.
Oh my gosh, jeez. So what else have I got written down? Okay, so the other big thing that they're advertising about the Switch 2 Joy-Cons is that they have an optical sensor on the inside. Oh, also, I should note as well. The Switch 2 just using D-pad for menu, makes sense, yeah. The Switch 2 Joy-Cons also, yeah, they don't have a little plastic rail that you put on the inside for the wrist strap. I think you maybe. I don't know. Oh. Quick, which animation are we playing? All of them. Hi guys. There we go. It's just happening. Maybe it does have the wrist strap thing. I don't know actually. But definitely the buttons look good enough without the wrist strap stuff, so I'll probably just keep your eyes peeled for playing like that. But yeah, they have an optical sensor on the inside, and one of the big new features that they're advertising is that you can use the Joy-Cons in mouse mode, which is you take the Joy-Con and you turn it sideways, such that the part that snaps into the console is now facing down, and you press the shoulder button as if it were like a mouse click, and then you can play various games in mouse mode, which they advertise some new use cases for that, particularly Metroid Prime, which will be good fun. So I'm curious how that will play out, but seems a little awkward to me, but I don't know, we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, you can buy the Joy-Con separately as a pair for 139 Australian dollars. I don't know what the US price is off the top of my head on that one. It's a bit higher than it used to be. 139 bucks is a lot of dollar. If this looks awkward, it is 90 bucks. Yeah, that's a lot of dollar. But yeah, what's happening over there? He's stuck over there. Let's see. The console still comes with the dog plastic. You still get the dog controller. So at least it's that. I don't know how comfy that will be under my palms because you have to slide the controller, the Joy-Cons in sideways. So I'm curious about that. Also, the Joy-Cons still have NFC. So the right one also has a C button, which is used for the game chat feature later. I'll mention that. Let's see what else. They didn't mention ray tracing, but it probably supports it because there's Star Wars Outlaws. They didn't mention frame gen because Ampere doesn't have frame gen. So it's probably just regular upscaling with DLSS. I think they did mention that one, so at least it's that. Yeah, and the last one, and this is probably the roughest part about the whole system, is that its overall cost to the end user is $449 US or 700 Australian dollars. This means it is more expensive than a discless PS5. You can also get a Steam Deck for less than that. The basic model, not the OLED model, but there's a lot of competitors at this price point now. And I think this is also probably the toughest sell for Nintendo. Also, they're trying to sell you on the iToy 2. It's a very thin-looking camera. It looks very basic. Yeah, discless PS5 is also $449. I'm pretty sure you can get one here for like $670 Australian. So the Switch 2 would cost $30 more. I have no idea where the Dragonfly I'm missing is. I think I'm missing one. What am I missing here? Go over to the second canner in the corner? I don't know. Yeah, it's the game. We'll get into that one as well. I've written that under the software section. But I do think the console price is kind of... it's a very tough sell. Because on the one hand, everything I described is actually really nice. It's like, yeah, you know, Nintendo's finally pushing into that 4K market. And my theory on the amount of processing power in this chip was probably on par with a PS4 Pro. That was my running guess, and that seems to be the case. Probably. We're probably right on that mark. Not sure if it's really any significantly better. Oh, it's these, like, yeah, these things. But I was good there. I was very wrong on the price, though. I really thought the price would be lower. I wasn't expecting properly pushing for 4K or all the other fancy features, but yeah, the price is a bit high for me, so... yeah, 400, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, the current day and age, and I know that there's the tariffs talk recently, although this is probably a pre-tariffs price, and that's an interesting one as well, because they said they paused the pre-orders, because no one quite knows exactly if they'll be able to sell it for that price, or whether it's going to have to just go up. Who knows? But yeah, Switch 2 Pro controller is kind of pricey, but at least you can probably just use whatever controller. I don't imagine, you know, your 8-bit does that worked on the Switch 1 would not work on the Switch 2, right? should really just support the same things, right? I mean, you've got all your third-party controls anyways, so... now, if you live in Japan, the Switch 2 costs 69,980 Japanese yen, unless you literally buy retail, because literally every retailer is going to have the Japan, what do they call it, the Nintendo Switch 2 Nihongo Kokunai Senyo Desu, otherwise known as the Japanese domestic-only version. This version of the Switch 2 costs $49,980, 28% less, and it only allows you to play in Japanese. It only allows you to set the region to Japan when you have the system, and for the most part, games only can run in Japanese. It is the same piece of hardware. It is a completely arbitrary lock, but they are using that to justify that they can charge a lower price for the Japanese domestic market, but completely giving no support for using it overseas in any way, shape, or form. Oh my gosh, the polygons. Metal Gear Solid Acid on the Vita. Very nice, Christopher Lawrence. Very nice. Going around having to activate all these cannons again. It's just like... it's just happening, yeah. So yeah, the Japan price makes a lot more sense, but also then it's like... well, I mean, it's cheaper, so it's like, oh, it's great. I would love the cheaper price. But, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons. Oh, check this out. It's just chilling there now all of a sudden.
Hey, it's Bobby.
We got one note of that jingle. One note, that's all we need. So, so definitely, yeah, keep your eyes out for accidentally picking up one of those if you're on the used market, because someone might potentially try to rip you off with one of those. And unless jailbreaking or whatever is a feature, you're not going to get much luck out of those versions. So, just, keep your eyes peeled. Unless you're buying new here, but all the Japanese ones, like, you can only buy... oh my gosh, we have a cutscene! I forgot, there's cutscenes in this game. One of them. Oh, come on, he can fit. Oh my goodness.
Blasted! Where are they? Where are my dragonflies? Excuse me, oh short one. Sir, short one. Something went wrong with your scepter. I think the dragonflies were scattered all over. Scattered! Scattered!
Dead.
Something must have gone wrong with my scepter. The dragonflies must be scattered all over the continent. No matter. Without their dragonflies, the dragons are helpless. I'll send my riptox out to collect them all and put that purple dragon out to pasture.
I think this cutscene plays after you leave this level, but the fact that I have 56% of the completion through the game seems kind of like, man, they probably thought of way more. Oh yeah, that's a god tier animation. So, but yeah, that's the Switch 2 hardware. Price aside, I think it's actually a very nifty piece of hardware on paper. We'll see what people feel in person, but I'm very optimistic about it. I think it is very much a, like, it's a new Switch 2. It's a new Switch, which seems kind of obvious, but it's like, yeah, it's like everything is up the ante to a substantial amount that I think you could definitely say, hey, yeah, it's a new system. Obviously, as well, we'll get into the software. So, I've written down not as many things on the software side. First of all, no web browser. I still have no idea if they're adding a web browser to this thing. Number 2, all the menus have rounded corners, and that's throwing me off. And number 3, the eShop also has no music. I just thought I'd get all that out of the way. So, the actual new features is, also, hi there. Can't read your chat above. Where the sequel is much better. Believe it or not, Metal Gear Acid is a game that made me like the Metal Gear franchise. That's very nice, though. Off aboard the raft. Is that a raft? Who knows? I've not played Metal Gear Acid. I've only played the original Metal Gear Solid, and I played Ground Zeroes, but I'd never played Phantom Pain. No one hears a word. That song wasn't even out when that game came out. That throws me off. This is a very interesting like intro to this level. It's like, ooh. Yeah, but I kind of like the idea of also, am I playing this level very out of order? Nah, we're good. So much honey. Instead of lava falls, we made honey falls.
Welcome to Honey Marsh, Spyro. Them riptop critters have messed this here place up but good.
Thanks, Tom Kenny. Opie? Opie? His name's not Opie, it's Jimmy Bob.
I tells you what, I'll make you a deal as sweet as honey. There are some honey stills draining all the honey from Honey Marsh. You help us.
How many times are you gonna say the word honey?
Any of them there dragonflies you're going on about that you find along the way, you can keep. Just keep that between us now, you hear?
I love his shoes though, man, I tell ya. So, yeah, these beehives, I guess. As some sort of novel chest system, I don't know. Yeah, probably. It's probably Tom Kenny. I do actually kind of like this level, conceptually. I like this, like, massive forest and, honey lava. It's kind of funny. This is probably one of my... Actually, I think it is probably my favorite level in the game. It is SpongeBob Man, yes. Exactly. Exactly, yes. So, actual features about the Switch 2. It has a feature called Game Share. This is exclusive to the Switch 2, but the trailer had one small point, and I'll make note of that. Basically, if you remember DS Download Play from ages ago, it's that. If you have a game, and the game is compatible in some way, it will let you share the game with other Switches. This can include Switch 2s and Switch 1s as well. I assume Switch 1s will get an update, and then we'll be ready to receive games like this. They showed off that this will work for Mario Party Jamboree, Big Brain Academy, Mario 3D World, Clubhouse Games, Captain Toad, and Mario Odyssey. And I'm trying to recall. Are you thinking the Switch 2 is priced like that because of... No. I don't think it's priced like that because of the tariff. I think it's priced like that because they just went with that price. And the tariff is going to be whatever afterwards. Also, the tariff shouldn't affect us in Australia. Maybe indirectly. Maybe they'll be like, oh, we got to increase the price again, guys. Sorry. You know, the price that they set and they were willing to sell in Australia is... or Europe, yeah. Basically anywhere that's not the US. Even Canada. Canada. You know, it's really just like the repercussions of citizens in that country pay more because there's money going to the government, basically, as like a sales tax. So at the end of the day, if the same number of people buy the Switch then in the US, then it will be the same revenue for Nintendo, so therefore no problem. But obviously, not as many people will buy it with the tariffs increasing its price. So they'll probably change the price locally. Yeah, the slowdown is the game, though. It's like this level, you know, it struggles, and this doesn't render while it's off screen. Oh, it's fine when I look off the map like that. Gosh, these enemies are just like gonna attack from ages away. This game has special needs. Be patient. I have poor frame rates. But yeah, so the game share for those 6 games in particular, they advertise. Maybe it'll support more. You'll have to wait and see. Yeah, no, that's kind of neat. Also, if you have the Switch Online, for other Switch 2 players, but not Switch 1, you can share the game. It's just lava. There's really nothing fancy about it. You can share the game over Game Chat. More on that in a little bit, but yeah, the download play works remotely. for Switch 2 owners only. But that's kind of neat. That doesn't work for Mario Party apparently, which is curious because that's the only one out of that bunch that is getting a specific Switch 2 version as well. But I just thought that's fun to note. So that's there. Anyways, yes. So what do you get for Switch Online? First of all, the Switch Online I don't think costs any different. So all of these are, you know, if you're an existing member, it's bonuses for basically being on the new platform. And if you're not an existing member, well, hopefully it sweetens the deal a little bit. Also, oh my gosh, the Egg Thief is back. Finally. No Mario Kart Double Dash. Not yet, at least. Soon. Maybe. See, these Egg Thieves are not that fast, though, I tell you. Like, he's trying, but he's running into another enemy. He really wasn't trying. Also, did I say Egg Thief? I meant Dragonfly Thief, because apparently he teleported into their bag. And if he was just caught, then how come I have to struggle so much in catching them, but he gets to have a fun time. This just looks so terrible back there. That's like a wall. Just peering through there. It's shocking. 100% I killed that enemy and I didn't pick up the gem he dropped. Sparks is not having a fun time on this one. But yeah, so game chat is their big thing. Every Switch online player, and I believe every Switch 2 owner, not even rendering the particles as well. Every Switch 2 owner until I think end of March will get free access to this, and then it'll be Switch Online only. But game chat is, if you remember Wii U chat, remember when they had this for a moment? They finally acknowledged F-Zero was actually a franchise. Well, here's the thing. Every F-Zero game is on the Switch 2. Every single one of them, including Climax. And we're not including AX because reasons, and we're not including the Satellaview for reasons, but for the most part. The retail releases, let's say that. But isn't that weird? All day one as well. But yeah, no, game chat, you can call up to maybe 4. I think it might only be up to 4, we'll see. People, and you can screen share what you're playing at like 10 FPS. The demo was hilariously choppy for other people, but I think for consoles it's like, whatever. Every single one, but not really. Well, it's all 6, right? The original SES one, X on the N64, GX on the GameCube, and then Climax GP Legend, and first one? Oh gosh, what was the first one? Oh, I forgot the name of the first GBA one. My bad. That was already there though. But yeah, no, yeah. Also, yeah, the Switch 2 has a microphone. I forgot to mention that. It has a microphone. Noise cancellation software is really good these days. Sega might make a new F-Zero game in the future. Let's hope. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Although we do have a new Fast Racing. What is going on with that gem? We have a new Fast Racing as a launch title, so that's fun as well. See, do you like how this level's actually big and so all the gems are red or green? That means this level's going to take me a while though, isn't it?
Hey, it's Russell.
It's Russell. How does it feel not getting a podium? That kid though, he's actually been doing pretty good this season so far. This key, it's just a key here. But yeah, no, the game chat seems like an okay feature. Like, for people on the Switch 2, it's like, well, it's better than using your phone. You guys have phones, right? That was the strategy they had for so long because there was no microphone. If you've got the camera accessory, which I'll mention is $50 US or 70 Australian, and it's a glorified iToy. You can plug it into the USB-C slot on the top, and yeah, you can see people. You can also have a, you know, your body is cut out from your video frame, so it's just you on top of your game. And they also showed off for Mario Party Jamboree that there'll be a Switch 2 upgrade, which includes mini games utilizing the microphone and other features about this. So we might actually see MyToy games. WarioWare Snapped making a reappearance potentially, something silly like that. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, basically the Switch 2. Yeah, a lot of people called it Discord because they had the same kind of rounded corners and the green outlines when people were talking, and it really didn't help its identity, but sure, okay. So there's that. 100%, I'm calling it now. This time at the end of next year, they're going to release an official headset. Absolutely nothing has hinted towards that. I just think there's a gap, and 100% they're going to advertise that. It's like when Pokemon Diamond and Pearl came out, and they tried selling that, like, DS headset, because Diamond and Pearl had voice chat, and it's shocking that I get to say a handheld title from 2007 had voice chat, and here we are, 2025, finally the console gets its voice chat back. It's probably going to be a bit shocking. Part of me would say, oh, for that price, you know, what are you expecting? I'm like, more, because you can get really okay webcams these days. It doesn't even have the microphone on it. The microphone's on the console, so I don't know, man. It's all I just hope is that you can use your own webcam. Ooh, there we go. But yeah, so expansion pack subscribers for the Switch Online, which again, same price. So hopefully all of this is a bundle. Or, you know, seals the deal. You get that, and also you will get GameCube games. They showed off the GameCube games at launch, which will be specifically Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. Decent starting roster. They teased 7 more. I think both. No Chivos. Yeah, true. No Chivos. No Chivos. You're gonna have to. Whoops. You're gonna have to play on a certain other platform in order to get those. But it does have the online play that the other ones have, which is nice. As well as also they are running at a higher resolution, I believe. They're not running at the native res. So hi there, Mr. Man. He's just chilling here. Can I talk to him? There we go.
We got ourselves a problem here. Well, these here Riptocs have set up shop in our trees. They're using them bees to launch attacks on us. If you could wipe them all out, I'd be much obliged. When you're done, go see my second cousin, Warren Bob.
Warren Bob.
Cool. Now it's time to go kick some Riptoc butt.
We forgot the "it's" in that subtitle.
Well, them beehives are pretty tough, so you're gonna need to swallow those rocks and spit them out like watermelon seeds.
So, yeah. Holy crap, they reused this feature of spitting things out. It's in this game somewhere. They found out. But yeah, the, also nice as well, with, F-Zero GX and, Soul Calibur. Both of those games support 16:9 in the games. And I thought, ooh, how would they handle this? And the moment you flick on 16:9 in the game, it fills out the screen. They properly handle aspect ratio changes, which is very, very nice. Good on them. They showed that off, so I know that's a thing. So yeah, they showed off just teasing that there'd be 7 more GameCube titles, maybe this year, I don't know, but they showed Fire Emblem, both Pokemon JRPGs, which are big ones as well, Mario Strikers, got the other ones off the top of my head. Chibi Robo, I think, was one of them. Unfortunately, not Doshin the Giant. Maybe we'll get Doshin the Giant one day. Oh, Mario Sunshine, that was another one. But yeah, no, that's exciting. That's exciting stuff, and I'm sort of glad that's happening now. But it's also like you only gave it a 6 out of 10. Doshin the Giant. Well, okay, 3 star is not 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. Like, go play it. 3.5 for me is like a definitely you gotta play this. This is like one of the best ones of the year. And then everything above is just how amazingly better than that it is. So that's my rating system. Me giving it 3 stars is much more glowing.
Hey, it's Gory.
Gory. But yeah, last one you get with the Switch expansion pass is some of the Switch 2 upgrades are I guess you get them alongside your subscription. So in the same way that there were 3 expansions available for the Switch 1's expansion pass, you at least get the Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild upgrades, where also, wow, this game has chess. They intended for way more of these as well.
Hey, it's Tim.
He gets no animation though. Do you remember in Year of the Dragon when a lot of the Dragonflies would have like a little animation when they came out? Or when you like, found them? I just thought that's interesting to mention. This is a bit awkward now that I'm over here. There we go. But yeah, so you will get that Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, I guess, expansion for free. Or rather, you'll get it as a Switch expansion pack subscriber. This then adds. Oh, okay. You're gonna eat another rock, Spyro? Okay. We just go straight through the rocks. We don't need to eat them. We just go straight through them. Sure thing, game. Sure thing. But yeah, so let's talk about these game upgrades. This is kind of one of the saltier points as well, because you have to pay to get Switch 2 versions of games. Sometimes. All Switch 1 games should work with the Switch 2. They do have a page that explicitly lists that compatibility right now. Maybe a little weird at launch, because some games don't work right now, and they're not 100% sure. Yeah, it's just, well... Is it? I feel like there's quite a bunch of games that are, I guess, PS5 compatible. Like they just made upgrades for them for free. But some of them, I guess I don't know. I guess you do have to pay for some of them. So, but yeah. So there's going to be, as they classify, there's 3 kinds of games. There's going to be games that don't care at all, and it's literally the Switch 1 versions, and you will be able to play them just like the regular Switch. I assume there'll be, you know, same things as like the you know, like the new 3DS, where it clocks higher and therefore you're naturally going to get better performance out of some titles. For example, I'd imagine the regular Switch version of Breath of the Wild probably will run at a very stable 30 as opposed to resolution switching all the time. So you'll probably get that. Pokemon also will probably be a great litmus test. And the rock is stuck again. We are not able to get the rock. Or I have a rock in my mouth already. Never mind. I love that they just make me have to wander back all the time to get these rocks. And then all the bees died. Hopefully the Switch 2... Oh, exactly. Dude, it'd be hilarious if the Switch 2 wasn't powerful enough.
I don't believe it. You did it!
It was no sweat.
Yeah, but I didn't think you could really do it.
I appreciate his lip syncing doesn't work
Jim and
anymore.
Bob $5.
And you owe us 1 Dragonfly.
I sure enough do.
I sure enough do.
Hey, it's Lily.
It's Lily, so... but yeah, no, most games are going to run on the Switch 2 right out of the box. They do have an ongoing list of games that haven't booted right up. They are also doing some further testing to make sure that, you know, once the games boot at the very least, they're still fine for the most part. They haven't really found anything too weird other than a couple of games had some crashing. They've listed them. For first-party titles, every single one of them seems to work fine. The only one that they've noted is, yes, the one game that won't work is Nintendo Labo Volume 4, which is the VR one, because the actual console is too large for the cardboard. That's a kind of hilarious reason, but yeah, no, I get that. Hi there.
You did it! You saved us a whole mess of trouble by getting rid of them nasty critters.
Glad I could be of service.
Spyro seems very talkative in this level.
For you, little fella. Don't spend it all in one place.
That's a nice line. I like that one.
Hey, it's Taka.
Taka, 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 taka. So yeah.
Well, I was gonna keep that dragonfly as a pet, but them critters are just more troubles than they're worth. Besides, they got them bug eyes too. Gives me the creeps. Yeah, tell me about it.
What?
Hi!
Hi! Yeah, okay. That hey line is like, that's not even Sparks', I think it is Sparks' voice actor, but it's just like, I'm pretty sure they intended that for a different character. Also, what a terrible placement for a gem right there. Because that is the end of the level as well. It's very easy to accidentally just wander into it. Ooh. Hold on. Hold on. Come on, guys. Your loading zone's way too close. Hold on, can we juke it? I wonder if it's based on where Spyro's standing. But like, seriously, that's just rookie error. That's just rookie error right there. That's so cheap. But yeah, Labo 4 technically is incompatible. I assume you could probably still boot into it, but just, yeah, you're gonna get no hope out of the VR because the VR is just not gonna fit. Various other games that did use the infrared sensor say they are compatible but with a big asterisk of you're gonna need a Switch 1 Joy-Con in order to use the infrared functionality. So they're at least noting that that's the case. Also, that then confirms that you can use a Switch 1 Joy-Con, which will be nice for people who want to use more controllers. And given that I don't really think anything other than the mouse mode is really new, and the C button, I think it'll be fine. The C button's not even used in game, so you should be fine for the most part of using a Switch 1 Joy-Con if they don't have drift. You know, the few that don't at this point. Yeah, there's a couple dozen games they've identified that don't boot, but they'll probably fix those. One of them is Fortnite, which they have just casually announced a Switch 2 version of anyway, so that's their conclusion. They're like, well, we'll just play the Switch 2 version, which is fine. Well, that was a pretty smooth picking up all the gems, wasn't it? Don't suppose this guy's gonna tell me something.
You're bothering me, son. I said quit bothering me.
Oh my gosh. Time for minigames. That is true. It is indeed the time for minigames. But I like this level. I think this is actually the best level of the game. Because it's got ideas. It's got a nice theme. It kind of looks okay. Kinda. It still runs like butt, I guess. But it's fine enough. Yeah, isn't every level kind of the same thing? It's all just a circle. You just keep running around the circle. Oh, the camera got very stuck. Unfortunately, with making the maps a circle all the time, is that wandering back for the minigames is always a bit of a doozy. Or you do the minigames right away. That throws me off every time. But yeah, keep an eye on what games don't work, and also if people will run other ones. Every other first-party Nintendo title seems fine though, so don't worry about that. Some games will just get upgrades. They have definitely mentioned a few that are going to have the game share functionality, but also just some games will get updates that will go, hey, you're running on the Switch 2, here's better functionality. And that's fine.
Welcome to Honey Marsh's Sticky Swamp Shootout. Us honey
Holy crap, we're using the tank again.
Shooting stuff with our tank. We're giving
Our
away a
tank.
Dragonfly to anyone who can shoot down all them at target. You think you're dragging enough to handle it? It's a blast.
Isn't it weird that this guy is named the same as one of the dragonflies directly outside his portal?
Great! Make sure to shoot all the targets before your honeycomb boat gets to the end of the course, or you'll lose. Shoot all the tanks, bees, and grenade riptocs. Don't worry, they are highly trained and extremely well-paid professionals. Nobody will actually get hurt. Well, almost nobody.
Okay, sure. So this one's a bit of a weird one, because most of the level takes place on these moving platforms, and you don't actually have to wander around. Also, these guys aren't. Well, I've got a time limit, so never mind. I'm pretty sure they're all obviously in the way. I'm trying to remind myself of this because I remember playing this. There you go. I remember playing this one a bunch for one of the retro achievements because it was kind of brutal. It was like do this without taking a hit. It's, you know, it's kind of mean when you keep shooting in between all of them. I think they should have playtested this for fun, you know? But yeah, you might get some Switch 2 games that definitely are just free upgrades, which is nice. But the one that Nintendo seem like harbor on the most is the ones that you gotta pay for. So for $10 US, you can upgrade your Breath of the Wild to Breath of the Wild. Again, this is the Switch 2 version, which has 4K, I think, maybe. Yeah, most of the rest of this level is all on this moving platform, which at least makes aiming a little easier. Just a little bit. It's a shame Stuart Copeland's popping off on this one. The crosshair is a bit like oddly placed. Also, I have one hit until I die, and what's the odds that like the enemies are going to keep missing until it's comedically, you know, well timed, we'll just say. Like that, there you go. There you go. How comedic. How comedic.
You'll have to try harder than that to clear the sugary, sweet, sticky swamp shootout, Spyro. Try saying that 6 times. But come on, give it another try. You think you're drag?
Okay. Alright, here we go. But yeah, so for $10 US, or I'm not sure the Australian price, given the price difference between the retail versions of the Switch 2 release and the Switch 1 release, it's 25 Australian difference, so I hope it's not that bad for us, but we'll see. But yeah, you can play Breath of the Wild, but fancier. So yeah, they're not really adding too much to that. But for Mario Party Jamboree, they're adding in new minigames and stuff. Also, the other one they showed off was Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which they're adding a new campaign called the what they call it, Star-Crossed World. So yeah, some new campaign to the game. If it's one world, you're probably not going to like the price point, because both that and Mario Party are $20 US upgrades, which is quite a bunch when the game's already $60. Unless it's not $60 and you get it on sale. So we'll see. But yeah, some of those will be sold retail, but the vibe I'm getting is that I am taking so many hits. Do these guys shoot at me, right? Yeah, look at that. It's the slowest projectiles, but they blend in so much with the with the world. It's so hard to spot. Listen, I said I like this level. I didn't say I like this part of the level, though. I'm having trouble with the trolley, eh? That's what I'm having. Also, I just want to note this game does have widescreen, but I feel like playing it in 4:3 gives it that that air of sincerity. There you go. Imagine getting hit by rocks. But yeah, also they did announce that Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid Prime 4 will have Switch 2 upgrades, but since they've shown them off before, they're going to also be on the Switch 1. All of them seem like they're glorified download codes, and I know that there's physical Switch 2 games that actually are called Game Key Card games, where they actually are almost download codes, but almost. I will get onto those in a moment. But yeah, the existing games that have Switch 2 versions are actually Switch 1 games with upgrade codes in them, which is quite interesting. I'm not too sure what's the point of buying retail versions of those, anyways. Especially for Breath of the Wild, because that game has DLC, and I don't think this new version comes with the DLC. Okay, well that's a bit awkward. Yeah, okay. Just end it. End it. I missed that one B.
What? Is it too hard for you? Maybe you should start over from the start and start again. Start.
That was the first take. That was the first take. Didn't even try. Come on, Tom Kenny. But yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a little weird. Now, that game keycard thing I mentioned, there are some games where, flat on the box, they mentioned Bravely Default 2 and, sorry, Bravely Default 1. It's not the second game, it's the first game. Which is getting a HD port, by the way. I'll mention that in a moment. As well as also, Street Fighter 6. Both are launch titles, and both have, this game keycard, I guess, design. Where basically, you ever play Batman Arkham Knight, Arkham Trilogy on the Switch? You only get 2 of the games on the cartridge. You gotta download the 3rd one. Game keycards are that. It's literally that. It is, you have the game, the physical game is the key, technically. It's just that it then prompts you to download. So it's like a very big patch, and it's because the game isn't on the cartridge. Part of that, a lot of the internet got very upset about that one, and a lot of the internet actually fed into a lot of weird misinformation. Not gonna say I'm like, I don't know, I do like Nintendo's consoles, but I'm not gonna fanboy over every single thing, because I'm like, yeah, the prices are absurd. And we'll get into the $80 games in a moment as well, but yeah, it depends on what you consider actually physical. And I think for me, the biggest thing that I want out of a physical release is the ability to play the games even when download servers are down. Nintendo doesn't officially sanction a way to do that. I hope that I can substitute in a DNS server and download the games that way, or alternatively, put the games onto a microSD and transfer them constantly, so once I've downloaded them once, I can keep them in my download possession forever, technically, like that. Yeah, I remember always taking a hit at the end for that achievement. It was absolutely brutal.
Awesome shooting, Spyro. You sure you ain't my 5th cousin? Congratulations, you win the grand prize. Well, maybe not that grand, but hey, it's awful pretty.
There he is. It's,
Hey, it's Whiskey.
I'm pretty sure you made that one up.
We're all out of them.
But yeah,
Dragonfly.
it's arguably not, you know, not physical if you have to download it like that,
Okay,
but
then come back when
Snake
you're up for the
Plissken?
show.
Maybe. So yeah, I don't hate the game download, the game key cards in the sense that, like, I don't know, Nintendo's been okay at releasing games without needing patches, but I don't know, if a game has a day one patch and it's just like, well, you're gonna have to download stuff anyways. It does unfortunately eat up cartridge space, and obviously it's a cost-saving measure, because the only other legitimate reason I can think of is that the game's content becomes so out of date that putting it on the cartridge is kind of moot. You know, like, what's the point? Like, say, for example, Street Fighter 6, and they add all this extra content, and it's like, yeah, like, what if most of it is not valid anymore? That's probably an exaggeration, but in theory, one can make that point about some games. So, I at least appreciate that ownership, and being able to resell the games is tied to the cartridge. It's just literally, you have to download it. So, I don't hate that. I also hope the Switch 2 cartridges have increased bandwidth. I assume that's the case. I don't think it's a bandwidth reason, right? It seems a bit odd if it is. So yeah, but other than that, that's kind of it for software. That's the only thing I've got. Yeah, the only other thing I've mentioned, most games are $70 US or 110 Australian, or the occasional $80 in the case of Mario Kart World, or 120 Australian dollars. Now, if you buy from JB Hi-Fi, it's at least $5 off. So at least there's that. Also, I believe, what was it? It was Sanity Like the music shop in Australia had a 10% discount coupon that seemed to work on the Switch 2 for a moment. So you could have gotten the Switch 2 for $70 less, which was very nice. Also, there's a Mario Kart bundle, which only has a download code. $90 physical sometimes, I think, is a meme. People on Twitter saw 90 euros. I don't even know if that's real, actually, because the physical and digital prices seem the exact same for every other region. I didn't check explicitly Europe, but all the screenshots were extrapolating off a single screenshot that showed 90 euros physical, 80 euros digital for Mario Kart World, and then just went $90 US. And I'm like, that's not even quite right. That's like, who knows exactly what the US is going to do. But the difference in physical and digital pricing, while I do think that, like, in theory, digital should always be cheaper, the fact that both have gone up is not fun. It does matter to you, though. Is it actually the case? Is it actually a difference in pricing for the physical stuff? Because that kind of sucks if that's the case. And that also kind of sucks if it's, like, wildly more expensive than other regions. 120 Australian is, like, well, it lines up with 80 US, but it is like, wow. They used to cost 80 Australian for the most part. Except 90 for the more expensive ones. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know where to check. Maybe just check your retailers. Like, if it's 90 euros, then that settles it.
But be careful, he's got a stinger that'd whip my bad back right into shape.
Oh, no voice line for you. We made a slide level. I'm actually surprised that there's a slide level. There's so many games with slide levels in the, you know, ever since Year of the Dragon, you know? Battle for Bikini Bottom's got them. Trying to think of another one I played that has it. Oops. Oh, the hitbox is shocking down here. Oh, they... This is a real game. This is a real game. I wonder if the game will crash if I just wait long enough, because it doesn't even seem like there's a hitbox. That is true. I don't know what's with the shadow showing up there. It's a bit weird. But yeah, no, the price points, anyone who says $90 US, yeah, no, that's not based in reality. That's just whatever. People are getting mad at each other over stuff that's not real. So, okay, we'll just go up there. But yeah, if it's 90 euros and it's different in pricing in Europe, then yeah, that kind of blows. I don't like the game pricing. Honestly, I think the console pricing is probably a little, like, harsher, especially with the Japan-only model, because that you know that flat out Nintendo is mostly going for maybe a bit more profit off the console itself. And is the tough sell of it all? My opinion is Nintendo will do it if for 33% more money they at least sell 3/4 of what they were originally going for. That means that the gross revenue becomes the exact same. And if it's any better than that, then they made more revenue. And all companies, no matter how much you may love or hate them, all companies are going to do that. Every single one of them. That is how companies work. Do I like it? No, because this is not like, oh, justifying it. This is basically like, they're going to do it. Every company is going to do it if they think that they'll make more money like this. Especially as well, Nintendo's publicly traded. They're naturally going to do it. Their value is not necessarily keeping customers, although definitely there's a reason why Nintendo doesn't release games at $400,000 and then expect only 5 people to buy it. There's a reason why they're not, you know, a luxury brand. But certainly, like, you know, they're gonna do company things, and companies do be like that. They're gonna just price things to what makes more money, not to what, you know, like, makes more sense from a consumer standpoint. Because it's like, consumers are naturally just gonna buy, you know, because in theory, it's like, if I wanted more people to, if I wanted more people to enjoy the game, I'd make every game free, right? I love how technically I'm still chasing the bee right now, so if I am too slow to stand directly in front of him, then I lose. I think. Maybe. Hi, yes. Hi. You can't jump in this. Or hit triangle. Wow, really? Do we just not care about doing this? I don't think he cares. Oh, there's the bee.
Too bad, Spyro.
I lost! I lost!
Try catching him, man.
Oh, come on! Come on! Every time I think I, like, remember how shocking this game gets, it gets... It's just a tad bit worse. A tad bit more egregious. Every time. Every time. Oh. It's so surprising that they made this game. And they released it in this state. And I mean, you'd mostly blame Universal because they rushed it. They were like, you gotta hit these deadlines. But I would also add, the developers did not have as much experience. And honestly, they had a solid crack at the things that did indeed stay the same. But yeah, it's just like, oh boy, like, too ambitious, guys. Way too ambitious. They were working on way too many elements at once, and they were not, you know... They just weren't, you know, accustomed to doing it as quick and as, sort of efficiently as, the Insomniac devs are. Like, it's a tough call, and especially as well, like, you know, I sort of feel bad for a lot of the people who probably lumped into that project. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, your project has leads, and the leads certainly could do better. Should this game have been delayed? Maybe. Because there may have been more things going on. But, you know, I don't think it's like, if you give it more time, it would have been an excellent game. It's like, I don't know, man. Some of this is a bit shocking anyways. Okay, let's not jump here, because apparently... Do I just have to wait for the slow butterfly, slow dude to get down here? Maybe. Call him butterfly, that's not it, so... Yeah, the game pricing is kind of annoying. Are we good? Did I do it?
Too bad.
Oh my gosh. There is no peace. There's no freedom. It's because I fell right from the beginning. Let's unload all of this and reload it. Too bad. And now I gotta sit through loading screens. Think about it, there's a loading screen here, and then there's a saving screen here, and then it's definitely still loading. It's literally Spyro, who's always in game, and 2 particle effects. Why do you have to load for this? Yeah. Anyways, let's dive into the Switch 2's game lineup. I think I have most of the launch titles written down, but if I miss one, then call me out on that one. In order of the Direct, they spent a long time showing off Mario Kart World, which will be the launch title, and it's also got a bundled title. I think it costs, yeah, 70 Australian or 50 US if you get it bundled as a download code with the Switch 2. But the diehard fans are going to buy it physical. They're going to do it. So, the game looks neat. It's got a lot of playable characters. The big neat aspect with Mario Kart World is, yes, it's 24 players, and it's a big world. It's not necessarily Forza Horizon, where you could literally drive anywhere and make racetracks out of anything, but certainly driving anywhere is part of that. They've got goodies and all this stuff hidden in places, and on top of that, various tracks are circuits that chill in the world, and various tracks are point-to-point races. We'll see more about it. There's wall riding and rail grinding at times, which is pretty neat. Yeah, literally the freaking coin coffer. Literally the Moo Moo Farm cow. We are cooking with this roster though, I tell ya. Some people will say they have no ideas. I said they had all the ideas. This is just the logical conclusion of Mario Kart. It's just doing this. Also, if you think about it, they didn't have a Mario Kart, like a new Mario Kart on the Switch. Mario Kart 8 was good enough, to be fair, and honestly adding in the battle mode and all the new tracks I think is a welcome addition, but certainly it's like, yeah, you know, what's a franchise that hasn't had a new release in a while? No, Mario Kart, yeah. Rhythm Heavy. Oh wait, I actually did that one. One of my friends is distraught because I really want to see Peachette. Listen, man, I freaking mained Roy. I haven't seen Roy either. If I can't play as every single Koopa kid, what's happening? But yeah, no, that seems neat. That seems to be the only game. Oh, as in Roy from Koopa Kid, not Roy from Fire Emblem. That's good fun that there's two Roys in Smash Brothers. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm hugging the honeys. I'm hugging the honeys. This needs to hit your trigger that I have wandered past. Oh, I can talk to him from here. Never mind. There you go. I was just in the wrong place to talk to him, apparently.
Good job, Spyro. With your help, we managed to stop that bee right in its tracks. He won't be bothering anyone anymore.
They play tested this game, apparently. Here you be? Here you be. Here you be. Are all the Dragonflies blue in this level? Don't need to say his name out loud, though. So. Next game. No, I don't need to practice again. Uniquely unsticky. Yes. Next game, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. This is sort of like the Wii Sports, I think, maybe. It seems maybe less content. It's literally, just, hey, this is the hardware features of the Switch 2. And there's some very small mini games in there, but I don't know if they're, like, that meaningful, or whether they're just, like, really small tech demo-y things. You remember how the PS5 bundled Astrobot with the system? I don't know how much this costs, but it's not free. Come on, Nintendo. That's a bit of a... Yeah, I hope it's not more than, like, 15 Australian, 10 US. But... Oh, sorry, Astro's Playroom, not Astrobot. Sorry, my bad. That is true, though. It is technically an exclusive. And I actually was surprised at, like, how, you know, much stuff is in that game. Because that's actually quite nice and fun. It is also one of the PS5 exclusives, so... They gotta hold on to that one. But yeah, next one, Super Mario Party Jamboree. I mentioned that one. That's one of the upgrade titles. That's not going to be ready at launch. I think that's an August release, which is actually kind of late, or it's a July release. Actually, July's not that far away. For reference as well, the console's coming out June 5th. I forgot to mention. So before financial year end. So I was right on that one. Stellar Blade in June on Steam. There is that as well. So, launch titles, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom upgrades, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land upgrade is not a launch title. So there's that. They basically went with that. Then Nintendo, you know how they had arms on the Switch? Well, now they have wheels. That's not its official name. It's called Dragon Drive, and it's a 3v3 wheelchair basketball game, and I kind of like the idea. They're like, we gotta make wheelchair basketball, exactly. How do we make the Joy-Cons in mouse mode seem funny? So imagine you're holding a mouse in your right hand. Now imagine you're holding a mouse in your left hand at the same time. Imagine clicking and basically pretending you're dragging your wheelchair around, and then you get to do hand gestures by literally picking up the Joy-Con and just waving it around. It is a real sport, so there is that. I like how I have to wander all the way to the other side of the world because this hub world is so empty, bro. Why do PCs not let you do dual mice? I am surprised that dual mice is not really a thing on PC. I'm also surprised X input is really as limiting as it is. You can't have that many buttons on X input. It's very odd. I think it'd be like an obvious thing to like let you support that. Just extend X input, guys. It's fine, but no. But yeah, dual mice, I would love to see some games sort of utilize. Which one are we doing? We're doing the Monkey Monastery, which is the snow level. So if you thought you'd go over to this level on your left, no, that's the last level in the game. And if you thought you'd go over to this level that's on the way up here, no, that's also, sorry, that one through the gate? No, that's the second last level in the game. The Monkey Monastery is the furthest level for some reason. But then again, also the Honeycomb one was level 6, and that was chilling just there. What did they intend for you to do? Why are the levels in such a weird placement in the hub world? You know, when you pick up all the gems, there really has nothing to do with this hub world, is there? Anyways, this is the demo that they would, sorry, this is the level that they would demo the game a lot with. Gift that keeps on giving, exactly. Hi there.
Great job, young dragon. That should be enough to get my balloon working. Hop aboard.
This is exactly the voice I would have expected a monkey monk to say. Oh! Okay, sure. Next games. But yeah, no, Dragon Drive seems actually kind of neat. I do like sport games if they've got fun mechanics. I like the idea of basketball with trick shots, but you're in wheels. I don't know. It's motion control, gimmicky fun, maybe. It's classic Nintendo. The only thing that's a bit weird is the art style. It's very grey, which I'm not expecting for Nintendo.
Those unbalanced riptocs have invaded our sacred
Oh, we've
monastery.
changed his accent.
Of course, we practice divine compassion, so we really can't get involved in anything violent.
Okay. Did we do this already? Got Dude, imagine missing that one gem. Dude, they didn't even hide this Dragonfly. He's just right here. Oh, wherever he's gone. And then I died. Literally a warrior class, that is true. I don't hate the concepts of this level, but it does kind of read to me as snow level. There's not a lot going on other than it's a snow level. It's got these weird reflections going on, but they probably really enjoyed making these reflections work. They're like, we gotta show them off. So, which is fair. If I made cool reflections, I'd do it. There's that video going around about I think Fetty, you sent it to me as well, about the ray trace audio. And it's a neat concept, but it's also like, haven't we been doing this for like 7 years? And not like when RTX cards were a thing, as in when Steam audio was a thing, when I think EA has an in-house solution for the same thing as well. Kind of like, this guy is not necessarily reinventing the wheel. I thought you sent that in that chat. Maybe. Either that or I had like too many other servers send it. But yeah, no, Steam Audio already exists, so this guy's solution is the same as existing solutions-ish. You know, once you do the raise, it's like, what do you do with it? And, or how do you model it? Oh, yes. Yes. But yeah, no, we definitely have stuff like that, because I do know that, like, Steam Audio literally implements that. There's a great clip titled, I think it's Steam Audio in the Auditorium, and it's using Unreal 4. It has this, like, nice scene where they set up a song with each instrument playing individually, and you can walk around and you can hear the song get muffled as you go behind walls and stuff, and then when you get on stage you get that proper like surround feeling because all the instruments are playing their own things in their own spots. So that's a fun example. But anyway, yes, Dragon Drive seems neat. I would actually keep your eye on that one. And obviously it's a Nintendo first-party title, so there we go. We have at least 3 exclusives. If we're counting Astro's Playroom, we're gonna have to count Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, so at least it's that. probably a lot of it, the video is just this guy figuring it out, and I think, like, I'm not gonna rip into him because it's like, oh, other people have figured this out already, but rather just like, what he's doing is explaining a very, very interesting, novel way to do audio. Also, holy crap, a returning character?
Spyro, I know you've heard that Yeti are scary monsters, but we are peaceful, which is why we live here in this once peaceful realm. The true monsters are the Riptocs, and they've taken my
The true
kind and imprisoned
monsters
them
are
in
the
the ice.
capitalists that
Can
set
you
the
save
prices.
the five
Wait.
Yeti with your flame breath?
1, it's weird that he's so big. 2, it's weird that he's so bouncy. 3, it's weird that he's so big. We put in all the effort to have returning characters, only to do this with them. Do you remember Bianca was at the beginning of the game? Where's she gone? Where's she gone, so... anyway, what's a game? We then get into the big... I guess, yeah, the big dump of games that are coming to the Switch 2, but obviously have been out on other consoles. Starting off with a big one, Elden Ring. A lot of people are like, "Oh, okay." I don't think it's got the new DLC that's coming out for it. I don't think they've implemented. Also, I haven't used the freeze breath because it's kind of annoying to have to do that all the time. Why do that when you could just, you know, flame him and be done with it? I think I need to go up there eventually, but I also need to go up here right now. Or no, I need to go up there eventually anyways. Okay. But yes, Elden Ring has come to the Switch. It just looks like Elden Ring. I haven't played Elden Ring, but if you haven't played Elden Ring, now you can play it on a handheld. That might have, you know, about the same playing potential as the Steam Deck. Or the ROG Rings of Old. Yes. Hades 2, which, I don't have too much to mention. I keep forgetting if Hades 2 is out. I think it is out, yes. Because Hades 1 is a bit of an older game by now. They are literally doing that.
Greetings, young dragon. I believe the turret behind you could be a very useful weapon.
That
for you
an
to
early
use on your
okay,
quest.
okay.
We use
But
it for our
there's one
annual
important thing. There's
snowball
one.
war. Oh, it's quite an event.
quite an
Although
event.
we are a non-violent people, we do have our vices. Perhaps you might want to glide over there and try it out.
And this is where I keep my, I cannot mention illicit substances on a, in a video, but just imagine, fill in the blank. These gems just look so sad to be here, you know? At least this works like it should. Oh, I think I have to flame that again. Okay. Now, if this was the original Spyro, you could definitely hit another enemy somehow over here. Also, hi! You're only allowed 6 of them on screen at a time. Hitting circle doesn't do anything after a while. I do appreciate their bigger draw distances, at least for the environments on this one. And if there's one thing, like, Spyro the Dragon has traditionally been a very, like, impressive game because they actually never used fog. They would always go for the low poly LOD kind of versions of models to deliver the effect. And I kind of like that at the time, and they've tried their best to keep that up here. It's just that the levels are probably too big, you know? It's like, why do I have to constantly dance back and forth to pick up the gems when previous Spyro games there was probably a corridor half the width and all the gems would be on a straight line because picking them up shouldn't be a chore. But we've made it work. As in, it's effort. So. But yeah, no, the important thing about Hades 2 is not necessarily the announcement of Hades 2, but rather that we have a rare Greg Kasavin sighting. And I love you, Greg Kasavin. You are the reason why I love video games. Actual honest, like, statement right there. Because I saw his freaking GameSpot review for Metroid Prime, and I was like, this game sounds amazing, and Greg has explained it in all the ways that, like, ring true. And I'm like, yeah, You know, he knows what to freaking listen for and look for in a game. And I was like, that sort of trained me to kind of appreciate games in ways that I wouldn't have before. So, big props, Greg Kasavin. It's such a, like, kind of just, I don't know, it takes me back just seeing him again. It's like, oh my gosh, jeez. I have a Discord chat with a bunch of other mates, and it's like the number of times I mentioned Greg Kasavin in passing, and they're like, who the heck's Greg Kasavin? And now, like this. Now everyone knows who Greg Kasavin is. Also, yeah, for reference, he was, I don't think he was a founder, but he was definitely an early member of, maybe he was a founder of Supergiant. So he worked on Bastion, and he worked on Transistor, and he worked on the original Hades. He's definitely been there the whole time. Oh, exactly. So that one's a great one. Street Fighter 6, it's a launch title. This is one of the Game Key cards. They're releasing it as a Year 1+2 edition, which made me realize that I think they're charging 74 Australian or maybe 80 Australian. It's 74 at JB Hi-Fi. Which costs less than one singular season pass of Street Fighter 6. One of its 2 season passes is $76, let alone the base price of the game. So the Switch version, I guess, is a decent deal, isn't it? How weird. It's such a trash pricing model. Holy crap, I hate freaking multi-year season passes. Like, I kind of get, like, oh, okay, you know, we promise so much. But it's like, man, $76 is not... that's the price of an actual game. That's insane. That's an insane price already, so... yeah, no, the Switch version's priced well, so whatever. Or at least relatively well. But yeah, it's a launch title. Daemon X Machina, Titanic Skion. This was a Switch exclusive in 2019, but then it got a PC release in 2020. We got a sequel. It's not a launch title, but it probably is an exclusive. Yes. Wasn't expecting that one. I haven't played the original, so I can't tell you much about it, but yeah, it's more of that game, so that's cool. Split Fiction. Joseph was on screen for a bit. He didn't tell me to middle finger the Oscars, unfortunately, but he did tell me that this game is indeed coming to the Switch. It is a launch title. Don't put enemies right next to NPC's game, please.
Help, Spyro! These flying Riptocs are a menace. I think they are guarding the Yetis trapped within the ice here. Can you use the turrets to help free them?
I was getting thrown off that he says turrets instead of turret. Split Fiction. So, It Takes 3 or something. I hear that game's actually pretty alright, so I might play it at some point. I actually wonder if they'll implement a game share on that one. Hopefully. They didn't name drop it, which is very odd, because they should have. That would have been a perfect one to have a game share on. But yeah, EA were barely present in this whole direct, and this is the only thing they said. They name-dropped EA Sports Football Club. The writing is kind of bad. That's always my my fear about some of these games. That is one of the most egregious spots for a gem I've ever seen. Seriously, like, what's happening over here? This like, other Spyro games? Well, no, other Spyro games also. That's a weird look of the underside of Spyro. Ooh. But, like, seriously, there's just nothing going on out there. Half a part of me wants to, like, just burn a life and just see what's over there, but I should really, like, I should figure out if I can get, like, no-clip cheats or something working just at the end, just to show off, like, what happens when you go out of bounds on all these levels. But that one guy, Mr. FO, he's probably done all the digging. Now, I like the distance going on in this area, I tell ya. Although it does take forever for this to hit. Also, it doesn't look like I'm sure. Sparks thinks I'm standing still. And these snow particles sometimes start on the screen. The more you look into it, the worse everything gets. Don't look into it too much. I am aiming up and down. It's just very hard to... I think I can actually stand there as well. Which will probably make more sense for these ones. Yeah, next one. But yeah, so EA, this was the only thing they mentioned, is EA Sports Football Club, because we don't own the FIFA license anymore, and it's Madden. But they didn't show any of it, they just name dropped it. Oh, with a crosshair? Nope. Nope. Real people don't use crosshairs, they just aim weirdly. Hope for the best. Isn't it weird that Sparks just casually can give me the Dragonfly for this? Yeah. Next one, Hogwarts Legacy. This is a launch title. There's already a Switch 1 version, so I think there's an upgrade pack, but they didn't really make it clear. Nintendo were very clear about their first-party ones, but they weren't clear about these ones. So, also, they didn't announce any prices in the Direct for anything. So, all the prices, people didn't know while they were watching. They were like, oh, this all looks great. But yeah, kind of sucks for the people who bought Hogwarts Legacy for the Switch 1. I guess if the Switch 2 is going to perform way better and or have ray tracing. We'll see. Or you didn't. You should have bought it on PC.
It's a good thing you came along when you did, Dragon.
Okay. Oh. And I burned him. The end. But yeah, no, that's a launch title. Tony Hawk 3 and 4. It's not a launch title. The only thing they really showed that's new is there's a SpongeBob crossover level, which is interesting. So I thought that's neat. Hitman World of Assassination. It's the Hitman 1, 2, and 3 release, and by 1, 2, and 3 I mean it's Hitman 3 with the 1 and 2 levels ported back to it, which is what they've been doing for a while. It's there on PC already. But it's nice as on the Switch. Also, it's a launch title, so that's nice. Also, IO Interactive have the James Bond license. I thought you'd like to be reminded of that. So, yeah. They're making a James Bond game at some point. Yeah, if the pricing's okay on it. It's so rough on PC.
For a fireworks display, but I can't seem to light it.
I can't seem to
Can
light
you
it.
use your flame breath to light the fuse?
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna be a rebel. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. They actually programmed the game to not light the fuse off anything else. And then it unlit itself. And then it proceeded to... Wow. You gonna give me something for that?
Wow, that was more than I expected, but, thanks.
He's gonna give me nothing for it. Wow. No reward. No nothing, so... next one. Bravely Default HD. This is a launch title. I thought it's curious that we're using the term HD when it might be released in 4K. I just thought that's interesting. Bravely Default hasn't had a re-release. Thought that's interesting as well. But yeah, so if you want to play Bravely Default and you don't have a 3DS, this is the second best opportunity to get it, I guess. This one is also... yeah, I think it's 54 Australian at JB Hi-Fi. It is not the price of a full title at all, which, one, given that it's a JRPG, is actually a little more surprising, but two, yeah, oh yeah, technically it was a super version that was the one that got localized. So yeah, there's that. I have yet to play them. They've been rotting on my shelf for years. I tell you, I've got way too many JRPGs. I just need to play at some point. And here I am playing Phantasy Star 4 and Xenosaga Episode 1. So, one that I can talk over and one that I can't. There we go. We got to do a long glide here.
Cheerio, Spyro. That's a good dragon.
That's a good dragon in it. I wonder if they intended for Bartholomew to be on the outside because they gave him the wrong accent. We never got Xenosaga episode 1 and 3 back in the day. Yeah, we got ripped there. Yeah, this inner part opens up, and then they expect you to chase this dragonfly who proceeds to just dance around the beginning area here. Oh, he tried for a moment.
Hey, it's Dan.
He's in distress. I know nothing about Xenosaga, so the more I play it, the more I'm like, ooh. But it is certainly very cutscene heavy, I'll tell you that. Anyway, yeah, so Bravely Default. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is also a launch title. I have a lot of mates who got into only Yakuza 0 and they never played any of the other ones, and I'm curious about playing more of them, but I definitely do know that's a goodie, so good on them. I wonder how much it will cost as well, because I don't recall that one being as expensive of a title, but maybe it was because it had discounts. Like, it does seem like it's a full Yakuza title. It's been out for a while. Let's have a discount. So there's that. But yeah, no, that's neat. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Every time I memed on Tears of the Kingdom, where every time you beat a dungeon, the character alongside you would go, you know, sacred stones, imprisoning war. They're just like, oh, what's this imprisoning war thing? Might as well do this now, you know. Yeah. It is a new Zelda, technically, but it is a new Hyrule Warriors. I do like the setting, but we'll see. We will see. You know, as the game eventually comes out, you know, how much better it will be. We'll see. I've played a little bit of the Wii U Hyrule Warriors. Wow, my ears! Jesus.
Welcome to our ancient slide, Spyro.
Woo.
Get to the bottom before time runs out.
And it's another slide level.
Will give you more time. If you can make it to the bottom in time, I have a special prize for you.
Condor freaking jump scare right there.
Ride the slide.
Ride the slide. Oh, we be going down the slide. Oh, it's a penguin. Sorry. It's so much shorter, that time limit as well. Then they added plus seconds. Oh, it's Rayman 2. That's the one I'm thinking of. This is such a Rayman 2, like, layout. Look at that, you got branching paths and everything. It actually kind of controls a lot easier than you'd expect. I kind of like this idea, although you might be getting a bit too much time out of this, but sure. Okay, sure. But it's actually okay. You know, if you're gonna flex, like, something that you've done in this game, I'd actually say this is maybe one of the more okay sub-areas going on. And it works like it should. The clock pauses.
Very impressive slide work. Here, I found this dragonfly wandering around down here.
He was wandering around down here.
Hey, it's cute.
Okay, next one. Deltarune 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they've only released 2 chapters. The second challenge. Can't hear you, Sparks.
Would you like to try our peaceful slide again?
Also, 100% that was because they needed to slot in an extra Dragonfly and they didn't have the voice actor back. 100% that's why that line is. But they have released those? Okay. So, anyway, that's out on the Switch 2, which is very nice. Launch title as well. I am curious how much you get out of a Switch 2 version. This is what I mean by, like, hopefully when we start seeing prices for games, I think it'll make a bit more sense, because everything is either it's a first-party title, a title that they've already, you know, they've tried charging a lot more on other consoles. This is literally the same thing again, except the time limit was a lot more aggressive at the beginning. It's not like that much more aggressive. Like, I haven't really changed what I'm doing yet. Sure, okay. But yeah, no, like, Deltarune is a game that, like, I don't imagine is very technologically intense, and, you know, I hope it gets a simultaneous release, and also, I don't know, maybe it'll just be one of those, it's on both, and if you have the Switch 1 version, it's on the Switch 2, I don't know.
Here, I found this dragonfly
This is the same, this is the same line, this is the same line, they copy-pasted the line and expected you not to notice.
Hey, it's dancing.
And then they named him after one of the reindeer.
You can always come back to practice the slide if you like. We find it quite calming after a hard day of meditation.
Wow. Oh, they've been waiting years.
Try our peaceful slide again.
There we go. Yeah, it's at least this year.
Okay, come back
So at least it's... Oh, sorry, not even just at least this year. It's a launch title. I don't know if all 4 chapters are this year. Or day 1. I'm not too sure how it's going to work, but if 3 and 4 is just there day 1, then... Oh, sick. Very nice, then. Cool. So... there's that. Borderlands 4, it's not a launch title because the game's coming out in September, but it's on the Switch too, same day, so that's neat. Civ 7 is a launch title, but you gotta purchase an upgrade because it was already out on the Switch, so, okay. They teased WWE and NBA, didn't show anything, they just said it was there. There's a game called Survival Kids, which is a launch title. Chapter 2 came out in like 2022. I know it's been a long time coming, so... Toby Fox is working on too much Pokemon music. Stop right there, criminal scum! I just mentioned a bunch of games. Survival Kids is actually a long-running series. Oh! Okay. The more I know. I looked at it and I just went like, oh, it's a crafting co-op survival game. On the GBC, and then there's the DS is Lost in Blue. Did Japan get the same name and we got like a very different name? Also, that gem just fell into the void. That was a void gem right there. I am missing a lot of gems. Wow. They might be directly underneath me. At least that one was. Now he's facing behind me. There are sets for many of them. Maybe I'll have to play them, but do they have 4-player online co-op? Awesome Blue Japan. That's always fun, like having to pick a Japanese title. Like that. Next one, Enter the Gungeon 2. This was just more an announcement. Don't really have a date or anything, but it's like, hey, you know, this is a cool game, or a sequel to a cool game, so that'd be fun. Yeah, that's perfectly it, yeah. I think I need to go up there. Yeah, it makes sense to be able to get up there, so. Funny thing. Funny joke. Enter the Gungeon 2 was announced while the screen was frozen. Ah, rip him! Rip him, he was trying. No one will ever know his genius of announcing the game. This is very much like a pretty Spyro-y level at the end of the day. And I think that's the best compliment I could probably give this game, is that this level feels like they loved their Spyro. It is too wide. It is too large. But it at least has gliding, which is something that quite a lot of the other levels don't have. Which is very odd. The freezing happened on Survival Kids. Oh, and I gotta go back for that chest as well. I like how the rotation gets stuck if I was rotating while that happened, so... 1999... Ah! Anyways, next up. Star Seeker Astroneer Expeditions. That's a long title, it's a Devolver title, and they didn't really show that much, and the frame rate looked a bit choppy, and it was very odd looking, and they announced that it's coming out next year, so... Oh, ages away. I don't have much to say about that one. Cyberpunk. It's a launch title. It's the same Cyberpunk we've already had. Also, don't compare the retail price of this complete version to the complete version on the PS5 and the Xbox Series, because it'll make you cry a little bit. Yeah, no, it's Cyberpunk. There's nothing more to it. I'm missing 5. Somewhere down there. Okay. Neither the Devolver game nor Cyberpunk. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. This is a launch title. This is the PS5 version of the PS4 game as well. So that's quite good fun, actually. That's actually interesting, because it's like the PS5 definitely is more powerful of a system. But having to sort of downscale it to put it on the Switch 2 is a curious one. Also, it's still not on the Xbox, so...
Spyro, the Riptocs have invaded our land and are constructing turret factories to destroy the monastery. Do you think you can destroy all the Riptoc factories with the Spitfire planes?
There's like something tapping in my right ear on the soundtrack.
Destroy the Riptoc turret factories?
Yes. That's why are you asking me that? Why are you asking me that? It's the same minigame as before. Although I kind of feel like this one contextually makes a bit more sense. And again, if you're trying to show how amazing the game is, a big, somewhat world with a very oddly textured ground, with lots of stuff to blow up, seems way more impressive. This almost feels like it's an area that they intended for some other part of the game as well. That was really quick, wasn't it?
Great job, Spyro. Here, I found this dragonfly in one of the factories.
That was pretty quick, wasn't it? Yeah. They then quick-fired a lot of other games, so I'm going to name drop a bunch and we're just going to go with it. Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess. This is a launch title. This came out last year for the other consoles.
Feel free to go destroy them anytime you like.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think this is any different. No, it's not any different, so... Silk Song, yes, Silk Song was the next one. It's not out, but Silk Song is a long time coming. And it at least has a 2025 release date, so there's at least that. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, they showed this off last week, but it runs a lot smoother now. So there's that. Good Night Universe, this is the telepathic baby game. This is the most Silk Song had to eat for years, yes. Yes. 2 Point Museum, this game came out last month for all the other consoles. I just thought that's interesting. Wild Hearts S, this is a port of a 2023 game. It's neat. Okay. Witchbrook, they showed this off last week. I have no idea what you're getting out of a Switch 2 version. But we'll see. Oh, Monster Hunter bootleg. Well, there you go. It's a Monster Hunter bootleg. Oh, look at this guy chilling there.
Whoa, what happened? I feel like an iced lolly. Did those rip-talks put me
Where
on
did that
ice?
sentence come from?
Egads. Thank you, Spyro.
Where did that egads come from? You had all this time to get your subtitles right. Also, hi, do you have a... Oh, I have to go back to Bartholomew. Ugh. Don't make it easy. 10 years in development? True, true. 10 years in development and already announced for an upcoming console. Already. But I think it'll be okay, so there's that. Puyo Tetris 2S. This is a launch title. I think it's just support of the, you know, the existing Puyo 2. Like, it's already a thing. It's kind of confusing that you gotta go this way. Like, after that door opens, because that door is throwing you off so bad. Spyro's head is permanently tilted. And he thinks it's cool that one of the dragonflies teleported to this random chest in the middle of this place. Funny number.
It's young.
It's young. That's how he likes. The Grandmaster 4, yes. It kind of seems like people are a bit critical of that release, but I don't know, we'll see. Mostly because of, you know, it's Tetris the Grandmaster. I think you kind of have to get your controls right. And there's a lot of Tetris games out there. Hi there, weird being.
Thank you, Spyro. The Yeti will always welcome you with open arms.
Makes it sound like he doesn't know me.
Hey, it's Joey.
That's a real name. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is a launch title. I think it was a 2020 release as well, so... and it was also on the Switch, so I don't know how upgrades will work. But we'll see. Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma. This is a launch title, but it's also coming out on at least PC at the exact same time, so... but that's neat. Marvel Cosmic Invasion, they showed this off last week. Hopefully it is in 4K, I guess. Star Wars Outlaws. This is the only one where I could literally say, does it have ray tracing? Because that's one of the forced ray tracing games on PC. Yes, it's a kind of spin-off of Story of Seasons, yeah. This is what, like and this is the umpteenth spin-off of Rune Factory as well, because we're waiting on a Rune Factory 6. But there's this, so it's an interesting release though. Yeah, no, Star Wars Outlaws, I don't actually have any ambition to play that game, but you know what I do have an ambition for? Nobunaga's Ambition, Awakening. This is a complete edition, and the DLC cost on PC is insane. It's a launch title. That's kind of funny that Nobunaga's Ambition is a launch title, just a curious one. Look at these enemies right next to the end portal. What's going on here? Also, this end portal goes nowhere. Fast Fusion is a launch title. We got a racing game at least, so that's neat. Shadow Labyrinth, they showed it off last week, but it's got a version coming out. Raidu Remastered, they showed it off last week. Although it is coming out June 19th, so it's like 2 weeks after the release. No Sleep for Konami date from AI The Somnium Files. I forgot what this one was, but I know we mentioned it last week, so there's that. There's a spooky game called Reanimal. Fortnite is technically a launch title. Technically, I guess. There you go, that's the one. Arcade Archives 2 Ridge Racer. This is a launch title. It's Ridge Racer. That's the one. It's actually just the original Ridge Racer, but the arcade version. That's a long-running franchise, Arcade Archives, so I don't have that much context on that. I love being able to see over this wall here and just into the back of that. By the way, I've done my 3 levels for the stream. The stream has gone quick, and I've still got like a couple of things to mention, so I might just chill and chat. Because otherwise it's going to be an absolutely, like, abysmally short stream next week. We've only got 2 more levels, and I've got to do the final boss, but that's not going to take a full length, full stream length, so I got to find some things to show off as well for that. We'll just chill for a little bit. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. It's coming out at the, sometime this year, but holy crap, Professor Layton, oh my gosh. Tamagotchi Plaza, which they showed last week. Try out the mod after maybe. And Human Fall Flat 2, which is a game. I know it's a sequel to another game, but I don't know much about the original. The Layton game looks great, yes, but it is Layton. Layton is very hit or miss depending on how the story goes. And also how interesting the puzzles are. But, hey, they probably know their stuff, so that's okay. Then they had 3 last titles to show off. So all of those were like quickfire, just like name, here's like 6 seconds of gameplay, move on. But they had 3 last titles to show off. The first one is a brand new From Software exclusive titled The Duskbloods. Basically, if Bloodborne is going to always be a PlayStation exclusive, you might as well just pay them to make yourself an exclusive. So, we don't have that many Switch 2 exclusive in this list. I'm pretty sure, other than, what did I say? Daemon X Machina. It's multiplayer focus. I don't really know what's going on with that, to be fair, though, because a lot of people would consider Elden Ring to be sort of multiplayer focused, because you gotta, well, not that you gotta, but it's got the co-op thing going on. And now the new one is very co-op thingy as well. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Here's a question. How multiplayer focused is it when you don't have Switch Online? It's PvPvE. If they said that explicitly, I could read that as literally it doesn't have invasions. Like, I don't know. There could be a lot of things out of it. We'll see more over time. It's not coming out this year, so at least there's that. But yeah, for anyone who likes any of those games, you gotta get a Switch 2 now. Also, gliding. I don't need to glide to jump up this ledge, apparently. Sure, okay. But yeah, no, that was a big like upset announcement. All the Sony fans are like, no, you cannot enjoy exclusives. I'm like, okay, sure, bro. So that marks exclusive number 5 for the Switch 2. Mario Kart World, Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I'm not counting the remasters or slightly extended versions of older games, but I will count Dragon Drive, and I will count Daemon X Machina. So that makes the 5th exclusive. The 6th exclusive is Kirby Air Riders, which they're teasing Sakurai is directing, and that's about it. Nothing more to it, other than if you like that title on the GameCube, then hey, there's this. They'll probably release the GameCube game on the Switch Online probably at the same time. That makes sense. And the last one, which is coming out in July 17, which is actually kind of soon, a month and a half after the release of the console, is a brand new Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong Bonanza, which looks very, very neat. Basically, big destructo physics, digging ground, platforming, all this fun stuff in a wacky kind of art style, and I'm very, very excited, except it does have voice acting. And Nintendo's track record for voice acting has been a bit, but it's probably going to be quite minimal. So, that's fine. Look at my I don't look at my DMs mid-stream. I don't look at them. Also, hi, I just noticed this is open. Do I have to wait until the Ripto cutscene? Oh no, I gotta have so many dragonflies or something, because we're already at 78%, man. We're kind of just there. But yeah, no, that game looks really neat, and that's a July 17 release date, so it's kind of like, well, it's not a day one Switch game, but it's gonna be, you know, in the same way that, it was something about the DK game that was noticed after the Direct. You're gonna have to let me know. Ah, fine. I don't have Discord open for a reason. It's a picture, and Pauline's on it because I mean, why would Pauline not be in the Donkey Kong game though? Like, I don't know. Like, that just seems like, yeah, like she'd be in it. I don't know. So actually, oh, she's a kid. Oh, okay. Timeline. This is when Donkey Kong had to work in the mines. Maybe she founds a new Donk City at the end of this. We have a... Have I made the music just play out of my right ear as well? And constantly hearing a whirring noise. So, she has a bracelet, looks like the Oddstone Companion. There's probably a lot more to that game. I'm sort of glancing over a bit quickly, but it does look like... you know, if you're gonna, and here's the thing, ultimately, the Switch 2, if you're going, actually, you know one thing I can show off the demo in this game, because this game has some hilarious sitting on the main menu demos, so we'll show that off, then you don't hear the whirring all the time as well. If there's one thing that the Switch 2 has done, is that they have cemented the idea that they have definitely needed a new console for a while now, and they've come out at a pretty good time when you can buy Ampere Tegra chips, maybe, for probably an alright price. So probably the revenue is going to be pretty good for them. Bookending the Direct with Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, they are certainly games that look quite technically impressive. And so I'm very glad that they are very leveraging stuff out of the new Switch 2, while also somehow advertising 4K, although I don't know how much of Donkey Kong and stuff will be at 4K. Another important news. Oh, do you like this demo? We're doing the flying around, by the way, and then at some point he gives up and tries to, like, explore around. Kind of reminds me of Superman 64, because he gets stuck at the end as well. The UI doesn't work, but he misses this, and then he goes, oh, well, let's just charge around, and then, he, just gives up. Yes, yeah, I know that one's saved from being vaulted as well, yeah. But yeah, no, the Direct itself was really good. I think the price discussion around it is definitely the saltiest part. The people on Twitter, you know, love them or hate them, but there's a lot of people who are just, like, immediately spreading actual, like, that's not the right, like, values at all. And I don't want to be, like, you know, Nintendo fanboy, whatever. I am more excited out of various Nintendo games because I do, like, I play them. I find that they, you know, there's more exclusives. I have more of a reason to buy a Switch 2. But at the end of the day as well, it's, you know, it's a kind of expensive system. And this one's, like, it's a tougher sell. Especially, it's a jump. And I find that's one thing as well, is that I'm not gonna die hard defend the price. The Direct was hype and the prices kill the hype. Yeah, exactly. I'm not too sure if, like, it'll be a deal breaker for everyone. And obviously as well, you know, if you wanted to buy the Switch and you're okay with that price, really short demo. Don't let, like, someone absolutely drag you down for that one, because it's like you're the one who's done the math. You're gonna buy it for yourself. And I don't think anyone actually has a problem with the system itself, other than the game key card, downloading that kind of stuff. I will still rip on the lack of a web browser, and paying for an online subscription is kind of still a little bit annoying. But sure, you know, like, there's a lot of reasons to like what they showed off, so that's all good. But yeah, like, yeah, on the one hand, I wouldn't exactly be like, you will rip though. That is the one. Yeah, like, I don't want to be like a you know, a spoil sport if you love the prices or whatever. Or sorry, if you're okay with the prices, but also you shouldn't feel bad if you don't like the prices. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's also, wow, what a demo. What a demo. Like, he restarts the level in the demo. He doesn't even try. There's no attempt. There's absolutely no attempt in the demo. This is also not even the right loading screen as well, which is very odd. Isn't it weird there's all these loading screens as well and you never get to see them? Yeah, I know. These are arguably worse demos than Superman 64 as well. But yeah, no, the direct, yeah, pretty okay. It's just the prices. Yeah, people then like either fanboying over the fact that the prices are fine, guys. You guys are complaining. Look at how, you know, expensive video games were back in 1997. And I'm like, first of all, please pick 2002. Please pick an era where, you know, distribution was a lot better. Because games in 2002 were very cheap. I found a holiday catalog from 2002, Sears catalog, selling Gran Turismo 3 and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 for $20 US. Now, they weren't brand new games. Those were both 2001 games. And obviously the PS2 now would have been out for like 2 whole years, but the fact that you could get the console for $200 and these two games for $20 each is kind of like, yeah, you see why things are way more expensive nowadays. You could argue maybe inflation and the currency has doubled in that time. Certainly economic conditions around us as well, maybe increasing the price. I think the other thing as well to add is that games, the value of games is really in the eye of the beholder. Games these days, like, you know, if we're comparing with Nintendo 64 games, I could totally argue that games nowadays have so much more value than a Nintendo 64 game. PS2 games, you know, maybe it depends on the game a little bit more. Certainly there's a large jump in the amount of content you get out of some of those games, but I think those are all the demos. We'll probably just... Oh, no. Yeah, those are all the demos. We'll just keep them looping for a bit. They're shocking demos, though. Imagine being sold the game and it's just like, oh. But ultimately, it really does depend on how you feel the value of the console, because you have to buy the console, and the games adds up. Or if you don't have a console, then, you know, it's your entry fee. You know, you could buy anything, but all of them have that entry fee. But especially, yeah, if you have existing stuff, you gotta juggle that in the price, and then you gotta juggle whether you think the value of the game is worth it. I generally think that Nintendo games have been slightly more worth it because they've been less likely to pad it out with DLCs, and so far at least don't have microtransaction spam or whatever. Or Smash sort of did when they had to pay for the Mii skins. Those were a bit interesting. But there's like, yeah, don't let people let you down if you are, or get you down if you are wanting to buy it. And don't let people just, like, fanboy over you if you actually don't want to buy it. It's like, it should be fine, whatever. And it's going insanely in both ways. So the point of, like, people actually mentioning the recent, like, politics about the tariffs. And just going, like, oh, you know, like, freaking, like, I wish that... Was it someone showing actual, like, the freaking bullet trajectory, like, comparison from months ago? And then saying, like, oh, if the bullet had hit, it would be less. And it's like, wow, one, what a terrible thing to allude to, and two, like, what a wild take to say. Like, you would be more okay if a certain person was killed just so that your Nintendo product could be cheaper? That's a bit petty. If it's too expensive, you know, it's too expensive. Like, don't feel bad. It will get cheaper later. Maybe. We'll see. And if it's not cheap enough, then it's not worth it. There's other things you, like, not only that you can be doing, but also you've definitely, like, valued doing instead. So don't, you know, like, well, you can complain, but, like, only, you know, reasonably. You can just voice your opinion that things too expensive. I don't know. There's so many wild people on Twitter. The conversation is kind of dreadful around this. I've sort of just been chatting with my mates on this one, just trying to gauge, you know, how we all feel and all that stuff. But yeah, no, the TLDR, it is Twitter. That is true. unless you like it, then it's X. The TLDR is that, price aside, it is very neat, and I'm looking forward to the games. They showed off a lot of stuff. The specifics about the Switch's software I don't really feel are too much of a selling point. I think it's mostly just, it's the next Switch. It is a much more powerful Switch that plays all the same Switch games and some new ones that run way better. And hopefully, it's a better experience of everything. The price is like a poison cherry. Yeah. Oh, it's an expensive bill. It's a bit of a rude awakening, but yeah, you know, like, what do we do other than, you know, wait it out, basically? We save up, or we just never buy it. I'll probably buy it, but that's just because I have too much disposable income, and, yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, I would prefer... I do hate that the games have jumped up to $80, or at least Mario Kart did. Actually, did Breath of the Wild launch at $70 US at the time? Not, like, I don't know if it did. Maybe. Oh, let me Google this one as well. Breath of the Wild, $70. Tears of the Kingdom was $70. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom was $70. I hate it. They've been dipping. They've been dipping on it. Honestly, and here's the thing. I do think that, like, anything over $100 is a lot of money. I also think that, like, we've been kind of blessed with $90 games for a very long amount of time, and I feel like games shouldn't be costing more. We should be trying to keep games a bit lean. The budgets are insane. It just keeps spiraling out, and the revenue is maybe there, maybe it's not. Nintendo certainly... sorry, 90 Australian. Sorry. Yes. US dollars is like, yeah, no, as long as it's below $100, which, one, there's a bunch of games that do cost way more than $100 anyways, if you're including, like, DLCs and other things, or just other, like, weird bonuses or stuff. I know they're fancy editions of games, but I don't particularly remember getting those after a while. Also, just anyone making a classic game comparison and saying, oh, they used to be more expensive back then. You know what you were always able to do? Also, do you like how the demo is non-deterministic? Because he didn't end up in that tunnel before. What a great demo. What a great game. Yeah. I wonder if the ground pound will be different on future goes. I'm pretty sure it's like that on the actual console as well. It's a bit shocking. Yeah, that's about it. I don't have any other thoughts, and I didn't have any other topics. I just sort of went with this, really. This is yeah, but it's a big one, and it's kind of exciting because we haven't had a console release at Koei vs. Acme. I mean, I'm not going to say it because I wasn't really interested in seeing it, but I would like to see these projects fulfilled. I don't like seeing stuff just shelved and for tax write-off. It's like, bro, just go for it. Go for it. There's no tax write-off. Well, there is, but you know what I mean? Like, just go for it. People work hard on that. Put that Batgirl movie that might be a bit mid out as well. I don't know. Leave it as a bonus for something. I don't know, because I guess the thing is that, like, if you're going to release it theatrically, you got to put in the effort extra to release it, first of all. And then if it literally doesn't make... Yeah, if it doesn't make money, then okay. The Scoob sequel. Starring everyone's favorite Scoob characters. But yeah, no, that's the big topic. That was all I really wanted to get through. And it was a lot of stuff, but I'm glad I got to ramble literally for 2.5 hours on that. So I think we're good. Any other last things? I think that's it. I wrote a bunch of stuff about this one as well, so I actually put down my notes. Only other thing. Oh, one very last point. E3 is truly dead because Nintendo do be announcing stuff in April. And the whole season of announcing stuff in April, spiritually succeeding E3, is like, nah, man, it's done at this point. People are going to announce stuff whenever. Is he going to ground pound slightly off the ledge this time? Yes. Okay. Who knows? But yeah, no, rip E3. And speaking of rip the stream. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, you can follow on Twitch where I stream every 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We're on Standard Time now, except in 2 weeks because there'll be Easter and I want to have a break then. But yeah, no, if you didn't enjoy this, then that's okay. VOD will be on YouTube as always, and you can follow on the Fediverse, m.biendeo.com. Where I will actually... I did say a bunch of stuff about the Switch too, including ripping on some people on Twitter indirectly because they don't see things that I say on the Fediverse. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, if you... I barely said anything about the Spyro game itself, but honestly, like, it's baffling. It is absolutely baffling that, like, it continually gets a little bit here and there, despite finding 2 more okay levels. I don't know. It's a weird one, so... Stay safe, eat your greens, don't stay up too late, I don't know, don't let your nose start getting a bit right as you're about to end the stream.